Hey, Oliver. I feel like this is going to be a regular thing. Hey there. This part is always really nerve-wracking, so I'm just going to go ahead and start talking and hope that that amounts to something worth putting up. But before I do that, just so you guys know, these pictures behind me are from IKEA, so have my secrets. I do want to say that after my last couple of videos, there's been a little bit of growth on this channel that I just started, and I've noticed so many people, and I mentioned this in my last one, but in terms of the comments that I'm getting on my videos, they're so overwhelmingly kind. And I'm not entirely surprised because I do believe people are good. And even the comments where you guys disagree with me, those comments are actually very civil, and I've had some pretty good conversation in those threads. So far it's been fun. And there were a couple things that I did want to come on here and talk about, but then of course a couple of things happened over the past week, and now that's what we're talking about. Of course, because of my last couple of videos, a lot of people are in the comments asking me what I think about this and that, all Gabby related, of course. And most recently, Gabby has gone on another Insta story rant, and some of you have asked me what my thoughts are on that. And then of course that whole thing happened a couple of days ago with Tana Mongeau and Logan Paul, which, if you couldn't guess already, I think is pretty ridiculous for so many reasons. So just to kind of get that out of the way and get my thoughts out there and let that be done. I saw the paparazzi photos that were leaked of Tana and Logan. And of course, most of you know Logan Paul is the brother of Jake Paul, Tana's ex at this point, her ex-husband, in fact. And people were pretty shocked to see these paparazzi photos of Tana and Logan out and about canoodling and all that stuff that they used to see in Us Weekly of like actual celebrities. But when I saw these photos, I was like, come on. These are so fake, so staged. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but the paparazzi is just, I don't believe the paparazzi is out and about chasing down Tana and Logan to catch them in some sort of affair like they're Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. If you look at these photos, they are so clear as day, and Tana and Logan are just in perfect lighting and perfectly clear and centered and out in the open. The paparazzi are just not hunting them down. I'm still recovering from the cold I had last week, so my voice is still a little funny. But yeah, I've seen some TMZ footage that contained a couple of YouTubers like Zayn Hijazi and Jason Nash casually out and about. But the reason they were on TMZ is because they were with Kylie Jenner, an actual celebrity. I've also seen TMZ footage of YouTubers like Trisha Paytas, and I think Tana as well, because those YouTubers were feeding the paparazzi content and were essentially seeking that attention from them. But no, I don't think that the paparazzi are chasing Tana and Logan down. These photos look so staged, either by them or they convinced the paparazzi to take these photos of them. I don't know. I really think it has to be the former. I mean, we know who we're dealing with here, and anybody can see that this is just Alyssa Violet part 2, right? People are talking about Logan and Tana. I'm talking about Logan and Tana. So it worked. It's really nothing new. It's just another stunt. And the reason I'm just not all that mad about it is because Tana is the kind of YouTuber that... Hey, Oliver. I feel like this is going to be a regular thing. Tana's the kind of YouTuber that completely owns up to what she's doing in an overarching sense. Everything she does for clout. I hate that word so much. I hate it every time I hear it, but that's the word of the day every day with it. It's every day, bro, with that word. With Tana, and it was Jake, now Logan. So my expectations are low. All of our expectations should be low. If I'm being honest, I kind of like the girl, but I'm not too hard on her just because I don't get the impression that she is necessarily in a place where she's expressed an interest in bettering herself in the way that Gabby Hanna does. So in the comments of my videos, the majority of the people commenting on my videos are pretty level-headed people that kind of take a centrist approach to these issues, like I do more or less. There are some diehard fans that think I'm being mean and I'm probably never going to be able to change their minds. And there are some people that have written Gabby off, and there's nothing that I can say that can make them change their minds about that. But I'm not really here to change anyone's mind. I am interested in having a conversation about these things, but this is really just me letting out my thoughts, honestly, on these matters. But I'm not necessarily here to try to change your minds. This started out as a place for me to just kind of put my thoughts and opinions out there. And if people want to have a discussion, great. If you disagree with me, please be reasonable about it, but feel free to let me know. But essentially, the reason I feel that I'm harder on Gabby than I am with any other YouTuber really is because I do see potential in her, and I do believe that she wants to be good. I just don't think that she is taking the necessary steps to even start heading in that direction. But coming from somebody who has a lot of the same values that Gabby Hanna purports to have, and coming from somebody who feels that she is walking the walk, I have a lot of thoughts on what's going on. Anyway, so last week Gabby put up a video apology for the family and fans and friends of this girl, whose name I'm not going to say. Gabby has asked us to please leave her out of all of this, so you know what, I'm not even going to recap it. She put out an apology. If you want to know what it's about, go to Gabby's page, take a look at it. Hopefully you come back here. But she's monetized that video and is giving the proceeds to charity, so by all means go take a look at that, and there's no reason for me to recap. We all know what's going on here. Gabby put up this apology. For the most part, people received it very well, and then I guess some drama channels noticed that in the tags of the video, Gabby was tagging all the drama channels that she claims not to watch. And I think with good reason. This made some people uncomfortable. It looked funny. I don't know how big of a deal anybody made of it. I remember Angelica Oles just saying she just felt yucky with it, that it just wasn't sitting well with her. So of course Gabby went into her Insta stories, which seems to be the one place that she goes where we actually see truly what's going on with her emotionally, which is interesting. I'm not sure what to make of it just yet. But anyway, she did go on her Insta stories and she was highly emotional.
So I addressed it for her and her family, and I'm attention seeking because I used tags that would target the proper people to get that across.
Just laying in to these drama channels for pointing this out. And I suppose anybody who sided with them against Gabby for tagging these channels that she claims are just mean, but also that she doesn't watch them. And in the videos, Gabby explains that the audiences of these drama channels are reflective of the audiences that she is trying to reach with her apology video.
Now, I don't know how many of you know what tags are for or how they work. Tags are used to target a specific audience.
But my first reaction to this whole situation when I saw these Insta stories, I just wish I could tell everybody to relax. Seriously, calm down. On either side, it's really not that serious. Gabby explained that that was the reason for the tags, and I believe her. You guys have heard me say that a couple of times. I usually believe people when they say something at face value, unless I'm given a reason not to, and I'm not gonna go into all the reasons that Gabby has given us to believe she's lying. There's no reason for me to think that she was lying there. It did make sense. The people she wanted to see that apology were us, the people who have been critical of her for not making an apology, so that makes sense to me. The problem here is that I think that Gabby is inadvertently gaslighting us. That's such a trendy and sexy topic right now, to talk about gaslighting. And I don't necessarily think that gaslighting is this big, huge, contrived, manipulative tactic that only sociopaths and narcissists use. I think it is quite easy for one person to gaslight another person, or in this situation a lot of people, without necessarily intending to be manipulative.
So the audience that I'm trying to target is the people who made videos on this situation. I put out that apology video for her and her family. The audience that I'm trying to target is the people who made videos on this situation. If you watched a video by Here for the Tea or Dustin Daily or any of these other people about the situation with Bianca, then you will get served my apology video. That is the point of the tags.
There are a couple of reasons that I think this. For one, although I accept Gabby's reasoning for the tags, she goes on and on in these stories on this rant about how we need to let this young woman rest. We need to let this girl rest. We need to let it go. We need to stop talking about her.
Let the situation rest. Stop.
And here's the thing. We didn't bring her up. You, Gabby, you initiated this mess. Let's mind that. You initiated this mess, and the reason we were talking about it is because we wanted you to address this, to apologize, to do something about it. So you did. Fantastic. And yeah, there was a snag in this over tags. Sure. But I do think what would have been appropriate for Gabby is for her to put her explanation out there, not be so emotional while doing it if she wants to be taken seriously, and then just lay low. Just lay low for a little bit, girl. Just lay low for a little bit while people process this apology, decide if they want to forgive you or not. You were on a high note, dude. Like, I don't know what happened. But if you take a look at this, Gabby started this mess. The people who started talking about the situation are primarily the people who cared about justice and making this right. We wanted an apology from Gabby. We got it. Great. And then poof, she just wanted everything to be gone.
Stop.
And that to me is such a huge sign of immaturity. And really the only way that I know how to approach these things sometimes is talking about kind of the experience of getting sober, but I think a lot of those concepts really easily translate to most of our everyday lives. A lot of people who are not ready to go through the process of change will change their behavior, and within 24 hours, they need everybody to trust them. They need everybody on their side all the time. And if anybody questions them, criticizing them, they melt down. And to me, those are not people who are genuinely ready to make change. They may want change, but they're not ready to do the work that it takes.
And this is why people don't speak up. This is why people don't try. This is why it took me 2 weeks to figure out the right way to handle this situation, because no matter what, people will poke holes and people will find a reason to hate you. It's about trying to find a way to villainize me at this point. There's no reason to continue this, to continue dragging her into this, because by doing this to me, you are dragging her into this.
And I think anybody who has been successfully clean or sober for a long period of time, or really just a lot of you who have grown up and matured and just learned these things in a very natural way, when you mess up, it is your duty to make those amends. We shouldn't have to come to you and ask for amends time and time and time again. But fine, you make your amends and you realize that you're still in the doghouse. You still need to earn that trust back. And guess what? Even when you are completely redeemed and everybody loves you again, you are still subject to criticism. If something looks fishy, no matter who you are, people are going to point that out. And I don't think she gets that. And I'm sure that, tensions are high with her right now with everything going on. I'm sure this hasn't been easy. Trust that I can try to understand that, or that I am trying to understand that. And I do appreciate Gabby showing her emotions. And when I say appreciate, I don't necessarily mean that I love it. I just mean that it is something that I recognize is there and have some respect for. I've asked her to be more real with us. And I'm sure this is real for her. I think all I can say at this point is, did you really expect everyone to side with you? And I'll run to that end of the spectrum as soon as you made an apology. You need to take some time to do right for a while, to continually, not be perfect, nobody is, but to continually take those steps to display better behavior consistently, to gain the trust back of those people that have criticized you. And I just don't think that Gabby has been able to look at that with a level head. I've talked before about black and white thinking. That is a sign of emotional immaturity. No, I am not a professional, but I do think in these terms. If you are unable to look at a situation and see the bad in it and the good in it at the same time, that simply means that your brain has not developed the part it needs to be able to do that. The same goes for how we view people. If you can't see people as bad and good concurrently, you're just not there yet. Don't get me wrong, there are some people that we're always going to feel negatively or positively about. But for the most part, people and situations are just a combination of the two to varying degrees. I don't know if I believe Gabby is mature enough to look at questions, criticisms, thoughts, and opinions without viewing it as hate. Either she looks at stuff like this, what I'm doing, and thinks that people like me are being so hateful towards her when I'm not. a lot of you are not. Either she is misunderstanding a lot of our tones and pleas and criticisms, or she is solely focusing on people who genuinely hate her and have nothing constructive to offer. It's got to be one or the other, but she's definitely not seeing criticism for what it is. She doesn't seem to understand where her place is right now. Just because the person you apologize to directly forgave you doesn't necessarily mean that it's on everyone else to feel the same way about you and to shut their mouths about this situation. It's just not. It was never your place to determine how much we talk about it. Never was. That said, I didn't realize that I was going to be so hard on Gabby. I guess that's just kind of what came out as soon as I started talking about it. But yeah, I just don't think that she handled this professionally, maturely at all. I think she maybe was pretty genuine with us, but then that genuine side shows us a serious lack of growth and maturity and reflection and introspection and all those things that I think Gabby kind of touts. But I do believe her. I do believe her reason for the tags. I don't think it needed to be all of this, but it is. Still, I just genuinely hope that the next time something pops up, that Gabby can handle it just a little bit better than she did this last time. She gave a fantastic apology. Great. Wish we could have left it at that. Maybe a fantastic apology with a little explanation later that says, hey, here are the reason those tags are there. But that's not what happened. We're past that. My hope is just that she can look back on this and hopefully get certain criticisms like what I'm giving her. Of course, I think my criticism is valid, but I just hope that she can look back on situations like this and start to grow. I mean, I think we started to see a little bit of growth last week, and I think a lot of us were hopeful for her, and I'm going to remain hopeful. And I know a lot of you are going to think I'm crazy for that, but I'm going to remain hopeful. But in the meantime, I just really think that she missed the mark with this whole rant right after her apology, and it just... it screams entitlement. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's what it is. Like I said a couple of videos ago, this is a person who feels entitled to not be judged or criticized ever. And that's just not realistic. So I can either get off my soapbox now or I can keep talking for another 3 hours. So I'm going to do the former so that I can actually get things done in my life. And to the one person out there that is watching that's not me, thank you. Hi. All your love and comments and even a little bit of hate here and there. I really do honestly appreciate it all. I appreciate being accepted and included on this platform and having my opinions validated or, quite frankly, debated. I think it's all good. It's all healthy. And with that, I'll see you guys in the comments, I guess.